everyone, and welcome to Song Like Lifestyle, the YouTube channel where you learn how to dance ballet for free with no experience needed. Today we're going to learn 3 really great moves, so we'll be learning how to do a flex frappe, a double frappe, as well as a flic-flac. So go ahead and get your dancing gear on and let's get started. Hello everyone, my name is Olivia and I'm a lifelong ballerina and classical musician. Here on YouTube I share videos about how to dance ballet, self-improvement tips, and lifestyle adventure vlogs, and I'm so glad that you're here. Whether you're a returning student or a new student, today is a really special video, as it's the first video in almost a year that I'm filming that is about dancing actual ballet motions. For those of you who may or may not know, I was in the hospital for several weeks and had to undergo a few ankle surgeries. And that whole process was, and still is, quite a journey, and I'm not 100% better just yet. However, my doctor has given me the green light to be able to start moving more again, and I do feel like I've gained a bit more strength as I couldn't even walk before. I'm just so thankful for everyone who has been a continued subscriber, for you being patient with me and getting back to making these videos. I love making ballet tutorial videos, and I was so sad that I couldn't do them for so long, but now I'm back. And while I'm not 100% better just yet, I think that this process has really given me a unique view for teaching beginner ballet students, because I have recently experienced, being able to understand the mechanics behind certain ballet movements, but not being able to fully execute them because I don't have the proper strength back yet in my ankles. And I'm sure for some of you who are maybe, returning from dancing after a long time, or, you just started dancing ballet recently and you're new, you might not be used to using your muscles in your ankles and your feet in certain ways that ballet requires. A piece of advice for you, if that's something you've been struggling with on your beginner ballet journey, would be don't give up and keep going and keep practicing. It took a long time for me to get back into even just walking normally again. So although it's taken a long time to get to where I am, I've seen the progress. So, my whole piece of advice from this experience to you all would be, if you're feeling frustrated about your beginner ballet journey, just don't give up and keep trying. And the fact that you're here and watching this video on YouTube means that you're keeping up with it, and I'm so proud of you and I have so much respect for you. So with that said, it's just been a long time and I really appreciate everyone here, and I would love to hear from you all in the comments below if you have any advice for your fellow students in this ballet community. I'd love to hear it, and just really speak with all you and really get engaged with this community that we've built, because I've had so many sweet people reach out to me and send me well wishes and say that they've been understanding with my situation, and it's really meant a lot to me. So thank you all so much for being here, and with that heartfelt message, I think this is a great note to start class on. So let's go ahead and head to the bar. All right, everyone, so now let's go ahead and learn how to do a flexed foot frappe. Many episodes ago I taught you all how to do a frappe without a flexed foot, and now we are on this variation. So this is really good for those of you working on ankle flexibility, strength, just overall dexterity, and that's definitely something that I'm working on as I'm recovering. So let's go ahead and joining that journey together. So to do a flexed foot frappe, you're going to start, usually there's a bit of a preparation involved, where you go ahead and do a tendu à la seconde, and then you'll go ahead and retire that foot, but to the ankle, kind of like a sur le coup de pied, but with the foot flexed, okay? So you can see it's kind of turned out like this. Again, you want to be engaging your core, making sure that your standing leg is also engaged. You have as much turnout as possible, and you go ahead and you have that flexed foot there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to lightly touch the tips of the toes on the ground, okay, from that flexed foot position, and brush it out, okay? So you lightly touch and brush out. So that is to the front, devant. Now you can also do this to the side, à la seconde. And what's interesting is, of course, to the front, devant, you can only do it from the working leg being in front, right? But if you're going to the side, like a lot of other motions, you can either start from the front with the flexed foot and go out, or start from the back with the flexed foot and go out, okay? So that's something to be mindful of when you're doing certain motions en croix or in other patterns, because you want to think of where you're starting from and where you're ending, okay? And we'll do a combination at the end of this class so that you can kind of further own that skill. But yeah, so that was to the side. Now I have the flex frappe to the back. You're starting with the leg to the back, lightly touch, brush out, okay? So we can just kind of practice this together. Now, this is my ankle that is currently recovering, so it might not look the best. So let's go ahead and go to the left just for another demonstration. So we have, this is Devon and Alice Khan. And notice you hear a light tap. I'm not stomping on the floor, and it's not so light that I'm missing the floor. So, you know, you might need to play around a little bit with how much pressure you put on the foot when you're doing your flex foot frappés. Okay, so that is how you do a flex foot frappé. Next up, we have how to do a double frappé. So remember when I just mentioned about how you have to be mindful of where you start and end? Well, that definitely comes into play when you do a double frappé, and I'll demonstrate this now. So let's say you're doing a double frappé, Devon. Well, you actually can't start like we just did with your foot to the front. It has to start to the back, and I'll show you why. To do a double, you're going to be beating the working leg twice. So you start with your preparation, then you're going to put the foot to the back of the leg, okay, to the back, and then switch it to the front. And then go ahead and do your frappé, okay? Same to Alice Khan. Front, back, out, back, front, out. You can do it either way, which again, you have to be mindful of when it comes to combinations, okay? And then next up, we have derrière, so front, back, back. So the way that I always think of placing the leg in order to be set up for success is making sure to be aware of odds and evens, okay? So if you have something that calls for an even number, you should start to the opposite of where you're going. So this is a double, so that means the working leg's beating twice. That's an even number. So that means we have to start from the opposite. So if we want to go Devon, we do our preparation, opposite of where we want to go, which is the back. Then we'll end up to the front, so you can go ahead and go up to the front, okay? And you know, if you have an odd number, then you start where you want to go. So let's say if we were doing something like, I don't know, a triple frappé front, which I don't think I've ever done before, but we're just saying just for fun, for a demonstration, if something is odd an odd number of times, so let's say 3, you would start where you want to end up. So we start in front, go to the back, then you're back in the front where you want to be for a Devon frappé with a flex foot. So just a quick pointer there, because I think a lot of people get a little confused and frustrated about where you start versus where you end. And that's just a really simple method of keeping track, is if it's an even number, you start where like the opposite of where you want to go. And if it's an odd number, you start where you want to go. Now let's go ahead and learn how to do a flic-flac. This is a really fun motion that's used to transition from one side of the bar to the other, kind of like a détourné. Now, like détourné, flic-flac really has an importance on spotting. So make sure that when you're doing your flic-flac, you make sure to remember to spot so you can keep track and not get dizzy. You start out in a preparatory position and you look out to the side. You start looking to pay to the front and then to the back, but it's while you're turning. So you go flic-flac, okay? So the way we piece all this together, right, because there's a lot of moving parts, which is where people can get confused. But let's focus on the arms first. So we're gonna have our arms out to the side and leg out to the side, kind of like in a second position. Then you're gonna close them and open back up to a second position, okay? So those are the arms. And remember, for the head, we're spotting. So we're looking here, looking at the same spot, okay? Now for the feet, again, you're going to do almost like a pas de cheval. You flick your foot to a circular coup de pied to the front, and then you open it back up and flick it to the back, so it's going to end in the back. So this is also really good for setting yourself up for the other side, because when you flick to the front and then flick to the back, your left leg is going to be in the front, so you can go ahead and start the combination to the other side. So that's another reason why it's a really good transitory move, okay? Now, if you feel a little uneasy about practicing flic-flac on your own, no worries. You can try to do it just from a flat, stationary position. But for those of you who are, feel comfortable and confident in trying it, let's go ahead and try it together. So you're going to start, either you sprint out directly into that preparatory position, or you'll do a sous-sus and then move the leg out. Either way, you're going to be starting from this position. You look to the side, you go to the front, to the back, and then you are ready to go ahead and start to the next side. So let's try it to the left. This is my ankle that is still recovering, so it might not look as clean. But again, you're going to do your sous-sus, put your foot Alice Khan to the front, to the back, open. Okay? And that is how you do a flic-flac. Okay, now that we've learned how to do a frappé with the flexed foot, a double frappé, and a flic-flac, let's go ahead and do today's combination. So you're going to start to the right. We'll go ahead and put our feet in first position. We'll do our preparation, and for this preparation, you want to make sure that you go tendu als con, okay? Now we're going to put that foot to the back and do a double frappé with the flex foot to the front, devant. Then you're going to head and do double to the side. Then you're going to do double to the back, double to the side. Then from there, we're going to go into a sous-sus, open, and then we'll do our little flic-flac. And then we'll go ahead and do tendu out, and then go to the other side. So double front, double side. Now remember, for this double to the back, you have to start with your foot in the front. Double back, double side, sous-sus, open up, and then go flic-flac, and we can go ahead and end. Okay, let's go ahead and try this combination. Fantastic job, everyone. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for showing up to class today. If you enjoyed this class, please like, comment, share, subscribe, all those good things. That would really help this video be seen by others in this ballet community of ours. I am so appreciative of all of you, and I hope that you all have a great day, evening, morning, whatever time it is. Have a good one, and I'll catch you again soon. Take care.